Righto, in this video I'm going to talk about why I'm moving away from Lowrance and moving into Garmin. We're also going to do a general boat walk around, and I'll talk about some of the brands and some of the stuff like products that are changing on this boat. I'll give you a general channel update as well, so let's get into it. Now, if you're not familiar with the boat, it is a Phoenix 618. Now, it's a full glass boat, 18.5 foot long, and it's got a diamond shaped hull, so it sticks into the water like glue. I can basically full lock one way, pedal down, and the thing is awesome. One of the best things about the 18.5 footer is that it fits in my garage. Now, it'll fit diagonally, but it's really convenient like that. All the cars in this household do live outside the house, which I think is pretty funny. Up the front, I'll get out of the way here, is the Lowrance Ghost. Now, it's been there for around about 6-7-ish months, I guess now, and about the same time I've had an order in for a Garmin Force, because I want to be the guy that tries the Garmin Force, the Motorglide Tour Pro, obviously the Lowrance Ghost, and the Ultrex that is rumoured to be coming out soon. Rumoured in that a couple of guys are talking about them on forums, so we'll see whether that is true or not. But at the top of the unit, I'll just move the camera around here a little bit, you can see the Hydrawave speaker just zip tied to the front there. I've been a real fan of that Hydrawave. To the speaker there is a control unit, and you can see the control unit's just tucked behind here. Now, this is the bracket for my sounders that sits there. Obviously it's blank at the moment. There was a HDS Live 12-inch unit that did match really well with the Lowrance Ghost, and the live scope, or sorry, the active target, that's the live imaging that was attached to the front there for about 2 months now. That's all gone, it's all being sold off. The Ghost is now sold, so we are just waiting for the Garmin Force to turn up. With that change from the Lowrance products and us getting rid of that bad boy, means that we're slowly going to make our change across onto Garmin also. So this is the 10.5-inch unit. It's the Echo Map. It's got a transducer on it, so the transducer is going to go onto the kayak. The idea there is that we'll do a review after a couple of months of use using this unit both on the boat and the kayak, and we'll just take the head unit off this one and put it onto the kayak, and then swap them back and forth as we need them during the tournament season. So on the front, the live scope for Garmin is planned as well, so we'll probably end up with 2 sounder units, one at the bottom of the bracket here, and then one at the top, one that's dedicated to the live scope, and the other one that is just a vanilla unit. You'll see here my foot pedal is in a recess, and I love the Phoenix boat for that. It doesn't stick out, so it's not something that flails around the deck that I can trip up on. It's a really nice thing there. You'll see that the Minn Kota stomp switches on both sides of the recess. I just like it like that rather than having 2 on both sides. You know, I can just mash one side of the boat. Eventually my foot will hit the button and I'll get the right outcome at the Raptors down the back there that I'll show you there. So they're 10.5 foot poles on both sides. That is a GoPro. I don't know if you can see that, but that is a GoPro hanging from the very top of one there. It's a really nice spot to get some nice shots if you're a video creator. Let's have a look at the cockpit. Right, so side on, one of the things I really like about the cockpit is the design of the Perspex windshield here. It does have that fast bike kind of feel about it, and I really like that. One of the great things about it is that when you're sitting here in the chair and your head is above that line, you can look over the top of it, but because of the design, it's forcing all the air up and out. You do get hit by some air, but a lot of it is, you know, diverted away from your face. I have lost hats and whatnot, but that's generally because I'm getting hit with wind from the side. The unit itself at the front here, I've got a Lowrance HDS 9 Live. Now, I haven't moved that across onto Garmin. That will be a question about whether I do or not. The reason that I like the 9 Live here is because of the charting. There is so much of time and waypoints that I have invested into the CMAP Genesis, and just the history of fishing that I've got, creating that logbook of waypoints on the unit. When this boat is on plane, there's probably a 4 arms length of boat in the water. The rest of the 18 foot is definitely out. Maybe I exaggerate, maybe it's a 1.5 foot of boat that's in water, but the majority of it's out of water. I'll talk about what speed the boat gets to in a bit, but there are a couple of things in here that do make my life a lot easier. So first of all, I've got a suction cup to the side, a quad lock. I've actually got a quad lock mount at the front as well, but here it is a charger, just clips into the USB-C that I've got there, and that is where my phone sits when I'm on the water. On each side I've got the trim, so one does the trim of the boat and the other one does the hydraulic jack plate that moves the engine up and down. I'll quickly show you that. So the engine's not fixed, it's got a 6-inch plate that I'll show you in a minute, but it'll move it up and down, and that does allow me to get the most optimum out of the engine. Everything else is controlled by a hot foot that is down the bottom there. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that hot foot back down there is my go fast, go slow control. The reason I need the hot foot on this boat is because I need to hold the steering wheel with 2 hands to control it. So one hand, it'd be no good if I had one hand here and then one hand on there. I really need 2 hands on that to not only keep me in the boat when I'm going fast, but also to manhandle the thing around if I need to, if I'm dealing with chop. Realistically though, at its top speed in this boat on a clear day, maybe a little bit of chop, maybe, you know, if there is a bit of chop around, I'm quite happy taking one hand off or both hands off depending, but I don't make a habit of that. But the boat is still very, like I said before, it's like glue. It's awesome. It's a 2014 hull and it needs a new lick of carpet, so I think I'm gonna go with this bad boy here. It is it's shark grey, but everybody that I talk to about recarpeting my boat, basically the first words out of their mouth are, it is a horrible job, don't do it. But I'm going to do it because the boat needs it. So we are powered by this beast. It is a 150 ProXS Optimax 2-stroke. So there is an oil tank in the back. I'll show you the back in a minute. And I've got a 24 pitch Fury on the back, 3-bladed Fury, and I reckon I'm overpropped at the moment. So we get to a speed where we rev out around about 5,300 revs. So you can see the other prop that I'm playing with, which is a smaller diameter, which means that this engine will spin it faster, but it is a Trophy Plus. We've got a 23 pitch 4-blade, so we'll see how that goes. Now, I did get some feathering the first time this went out, or some cavitation coming out of the hole. We've got some seals and we're going to plug the hole in there to see the handling qualities of the boat. The intent is to swap this bad girl out with a 4-stroke 175, probably sometime next year, at the end of the year. So this guy will be up for sale soon. She's been awesome, hasn't missed a beat. I just really like the look of the new engines. I mean, who doesn't want to go faster as well, right? On the back here, we've got the Raptor poles. They do look really large though. They look huge when you compare them to the 8-footers. The 8-footers obviously a foot less in height, but visually they look mean. They look proper mean on the back, which is why I like them. Easily on the boat, the most asked about thing. Easily, with people at the boat ramp are always asking what the hell these things are. So internally in these 3 hatches at the front is where the magic happens. This is the center hatch where all my gear lives. I've got everything that I need quickly at the front and everything that I really don't need and only use on occasion down the back. It's a big area, but you can fit, about 8 tackle boxes lined up in the center here. On the left-hand side, I've just got my soft plastics, the jig heads, and the gear that I use regularly. That all lines up with soft plastics on this side, and then my tertiary stuff on that side. So on the right-hand side, I've got my box for my leaders and my line. I've got a bass box. I've got some stuff that I'm testing, some other accessories, line, my crank crab boxes are in here as well, and my emergency funds box. In the center, I basically split everything up. So I've got blades, cranks, jerkbait, minnows. I've got my random box of things to look at. This is my surface lure box that sits just here as well. I can do that with one hand. All the surface lures that I need are sitting there as well. That area extends all the way to where the Garmin actually sits as well. So that is it. On the roof, there's some storage points that really I only ever use every now and again. On the right hand side, I have most of my camera gear. I've got another hard case that the drone sits here with, and this is where my YOLO Tech power pole lives now. It makes content creation for me much easier because my batteries don't run out. Now if we move across to the other side, this is mainly where my rods sit. So at the moment I've got a dozen rods in here, probably about 8 or 9 reels that are in there. You can see this is where the magic really does happen. I'll see if I can get this a little bit brighter for you to see in here. So you are going to see a Shimano Nasky review coming. You've obviously already seen the Anarchy. You've got the Spike 44. Let's zoom in on that bad boy there. That will come out soon. Now, a lot of the videos that have gone out at the moment that were scheduled to come out aren't out yet because product has been delayed, sitting in shipping containers that's sitting offshore in Sydney. And because you guys can't get your hands on it, I'm choosing not to release it at the moment. And companies are asking me not to release it, but I'm just holding some videos on at the moment. It's not my preference to do, I don't like doing it, but if I can support the people that are supporting this channel with product and helping me out, well, I'm going to do that. So a couple of videos on at the moment. The new Bait Junkie Risky Critter will be the 17th or the round about the 15th through the 17th of December, and that Spike will actually be in January, so that's being delayed a fair bit, which is a little bit unfortunate if you ask me. But as soon as that, as well as this TD Black that is being reviewed as well, we're going to look at some Shimano stuff. So we've got the Shimano Sustain coming that I'm keen on having a go at, as well as the Zodius and the T-Curve premium rods. So we'll have a look at all of those products, I guess, in the new year after I've had a little bit of time to play around with them, and I can accurately tell you what I think of them. We'll also give a 1v1 on two $100 reels that I'm pretty pumped about, and that'll be a straight Daiwa versus Shimano review. So I'm pretty pumped about that bad boy there. Now in this cockpit there are two things that I absolutely love. You'll have to excuse the camp's a little bit dirty at the moment, but the first one is the net position. So this is the secret Phoenix spot for your net. It's nice and tucked away, it sits there, it's easy to grab your fish, and then you can put that bad boy away again. I'm a huge fan of it. Works really nicely, it's easy to use, just sits there like that. Easy. If I move around the other way, the other thing that's hidden is this guy here, and that is my ruler if I need it. So she sits in there and really easy and convenient to grab whenever I need it. We've got 4 main hatches on the back here, 2 in the center and 1 on each side. So the ones on each side are pretty nice. There's heaps of room in here. I've got my wet weather Sims gear in there at the moment, but this is where I typically keep my safety gear and the fire extinguishers and bail buckets and everything that I need by law, flares as well. And in the center here, I've got my 2 live wells. Now, one of the things that I really like about the Phoenix live wells is that they're completely independent, so I don't need to fill both sides up, which means that I can keep weight down when I am fishing by myself. In here, I've got 1 pump that goes in, 1 pump that goes out the back there, and then 1 recirc pump on both sides. So there's 6 pumps in total on both of those. As I come down, I've got the center area here that I just keep my stuff in, general purpose gear, cull tags and whatnot that I can grab. Rightio, so if we move forward from where we're sitting, so I usually sit there, there's the stand I was using before. On the left hand side, I've got the non-boater hatch, or my secondary hatch. So you can see it'll take 4 rods there. I'm not sure how well you can see that there, but there is a socket for a number of rods. You can see the new little frog that I've been playing around with. The boat is powered by FPV Power. I've done a full review on those guys there with their lithium stuff. I'm super happy with the FPV lithium batteries that I've had. I've had no issues at all with them. So if you stuck through that, awesome. I've got some pretty cool things happening with the boat at the moment. We're about to get the clear coat redone, so she'll look brand spanking new, just like the surface layer, buffed out all the scratches in preparation for something to go over the top of it. But there's a lot going on the boat, including a wrap, so stay tuned to have a look at that. Remember the buttons to push if you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the video. Stay safe. I'll see you next time.